Alright guys, I'm getting my laundry done, almost done. I've made phone calls. I've called a pregnancy center. They do baby bucks where you earn your way and you earn money for baby clothing, which I absolutely love. I'm just amazed every time I call these centers how much help there is. Don't be afraid to reach out for help. When I think back to when I was pregnant with our firstborn, I mean, I really didn't think I could be pregnant. We tried and tried, and uh, we just, I just said, okay, forget this. I'll go to hairdressing school. I can't become a mother. I think it was they call it a substitute baby for a mother who lost her baby through abortion. I don't think it was really that bad for me, but I had a strong desire to have a baby. And when I went over there, I mean, my life pretty much, that was the beginning of God saving me. I already went to hairdressing school. My husband and I were having a few issues. The girls were like, oh, just leave him, he's a jerk. And so we persevered because that's what commitment is, right? And things turned around better at that time. And we had our firstborn son, and I was thrilled. But I was working at a hair salon, and I just thought this lady was so strange. She invited me over for a picnic. I thought, yeah, why wouldn't I go to a picnic? I love food. My family's always had reunions, big family events, and, pool parties. My Uncle Bill got married. Me and my husband, my husband, I think, got him in. I think he pushed him and got Bill in. But Bill and Steve, my uncles had a fight. They were pushing each other in the pool. So, I'm like, yeah, I'll go to a picnic. But then they take out their Bibles, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is weird. It was so weird to me back then. And now it's just natural, But when I went to the pregnancy center, back to what I was talking about, the lady said God forgives as far as the east to the west. So even though I took all the blame, I think that was a symptom of the guilt and the shame, and just taking all the blame. It's just amazing. I think, if I didn't go to that pregnancy center, where would I have been? I'm so glad I humbled myself, and I am so frugal. I was like, I don't want to pay for a pregnancy test, I don't want to pay for baby clothes, I don't want to pay for a car seat. I am like truly cheap. I just want to pay. I should say frugal. Cheap does not sound good. A woman told me, don't ever say you're cheap because it doesn't sound ladylike. So frugal might be the better word. I need to watch how I say things because I just say things and I don't mean them. Sometimes they come out in a way that's not the best way to say it. So so I was just very frugal and wanted to save money. And then I hate paying bills. I'm pretty frugal on my bills. I only have like a few bills. Storage, I could cut the gym, I could cut my phone, I could get a free phone if I want, which I may do in the future, just to save on that. But I don't have a problem with being generous, and I don't have a problem with spending money on something that I want. It's just I don't like bills, and I don't like spending things on things I don't have to. So if I didn't go there and humble myself and be like, yeah, I'll take a free pregnancy test and and take your free clothing and car seat, then I wouldn't have ever really probably got to know God the way I did. Who knows? God's in control. He could have saved me a different way, but he chose this way. And like I said, I had totally hit rock bottom, felt totally worthless, and asked God to forgive me and realized that we had a forgiving God, which is so strange to me that I had never really heard about forgiveness until I realized that there was a God. So, just kind of chewing on that and working it out. And then, like I said, my testimony is pretty consistent. Going to church, the lady who brought me, my husband's grandmother, was like, I don't think this church is friendly. And I'm like, I'm fine with it. I had no expectations. Got to church. They reached right out to me. Second time, heard the gospel, got saved, took MOPS classes, took Bible studies, turned my whole entire life around from my grandmother who came from the projects. And my grandmother who had her marriage annulled at that about my age. She said she was in the hospital, I don't know what for, and the priest told her it was okay to annul her marriage. I've looked up annulments, and usually it's incest or it's for, another reason. So I still don't know. There was a lot of secrets going around, a lot of skeletons in the closet when I was growing up. So I was not privy to these. So I didn't really know what their problem was. My grandmother said that my grandfather was the best guy that she had ever met when she had decided later to date another guy. This is after Mac died. He got shot by a cab driver in Manchester. They fought over a cigarette. Really stupid, right? So the cab driver took out a gun and shot him. But after Mac, she had been with Mac for a while, she dated this guy called Claude. And he was French, and the French, they tend to be romantic, and he would do anything for her. But I think her heart was still toward my grandfather. And he came from money. My Uncle Jim had money. My Aunt Evelyn Munns had money. Evelyn and Al Munns. In Hooksett, the Zipporahs, Doris and Bob Zipporah on Zipporah Road had money. Bob ran a trucking company. So they had money. They had a nice house we would visit when I was younger. Huge pool, like 9 feet deep. And me and my brother would hang out at the pool and jump off the diving board. So swimming's always been a huge part of my life. But where am I going with this? Okay, pregnancy center. So I grew up with my grandmother, broken family, all my aunts and uncles divorced, broken family. Never really saw, I believe there was a God somewhere, kind of agnostic like my mother, but I never really, I would pray to God at night and be like, God, if you do this for me, I swear I will do this for you. And I used to wheel and deal with God. So I thought, but he didn't need my deals. But it wasn't until, when I was in Deerfield, that my great aunt shared the gospel with the church. I think it was a church in Raymond, probably a Raymond Baptist church. I don't know. And then when I got saved after, going to that church, and then just constant Bible studies and parenting classes. And then I went back to the pregnancy center. They were on Pleasant Street when they started off, but then I went back there and I got the classes for teen years and just on and on. And then I went to the banquets years ago. I went to my first banquet to support a pregnancy center, and now I just call pregnancy centers and I encourage them when I talk to them. I say, I just, great job, God bless you. I'm always encouraging them because they have a huge work ahead of them. We are seeing laws with Biden wanting every single state to offer abortion up until birth, which is ridiculous. And now we've seen, Lori Handy just get put in prison with a bunch of other people for over a decade for standing for life at a late term abortion clinic in DC. I have heard on my Facebook that they were trashing the personal property of a abortive clinic. I don't know the facts yet. I will be doing a video once I get the facts on that. But the pregnancy centers are vital. They're the front line. I think what's going to happen, I've gotten off the sidewalks for now, and I think what's going to happen is we're just going to have to move this to churches, and then we're going to have to move it just to women being willing to share their mothering and their what they did when they mothered, and how, maybe move it to midwives. I think it's just gotten so big, the battles on the sidewalks and the pregnancy centers. We're probably going to have the pregnancy centers work with, I don't know, they already work with the churches, but somehow get them so that they're not as out there too much. Maybe move it to social media more, just so that women have the help that they need without the pregnancy centers getting these, fines that the government wants to give them. So you got to define the FACE Act. I mean, if a woman feels harassed by just, walking on the other side of the road, and seeing protesters, That's not really harassment. You really have to define it. Just because someone's feelings are hurt because you said, a baby, that's a baby in the womb, that's not really enough, to really do much with the FACE Act. I mean, the government definitely wants to make anything you disagree with a criminal charge with the FACE Act, which is totally different. So these laws are stupid. I mean, they really are. You have a baby being put to death, and you have these stupid laws that the government has made to protect. I thought my camera went out. To protect people who just want to kill babies. It's stupid.